Hi everyone, welcome again. This is Roxanne with you, and thank you guys for those who have been tuning in and subscribing. Please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And today I have a very exciting topic, and it's the journey to success. And I'm going to give you some helpful tips. So whether you are at the beginning of your journey trying to search for your pathway, or you're at what you consider to be success, maybe there's some helpful things for you to do, because sometimes it might feel monotonous for someone who feels that they're highly successful. So maybe you need some tips that can help you to recharge and just to refresh. So I'm going to be sharing some of these tips, and today I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Sacha Reid, and I would consider her to be on that journey to success. So I'm going to ask her just to briefly introduce herself, and then she will be giving some insights and input for persons who are actually looking for success or on that journey. All right, thanks for joining us today, Sacha. It's really a pleasure having you like our very first guest on this platform. So maybe you just want to share a little bit of your about yourself to everyone that they see about you.
Hi, I'm Sacha Reid. I'm a rising junior honors interdisciplinary humanities major, painting minor at Howard University. I am also an intern at the National Gallery of Art for the next 2 years.
Okay, great. That sounds so refreshing. And I know Sacha has a great insight here, and I'm looking forward to hearing her perspective on some of these key points on the journey to success. One of the most important things that we want to make sure that we're doing if you're on this journey and you're working hard towards these goals, you have to ensure that you're eliminating distractions. For persons that are just kind of hooked on social media, they're spending more than maybe 60% of their time on social media. It's quite distracting. They can't focus on their goals, and it's causing major issues. And they're so maybe addicted to social media. So we want to make sure that we want to eliminate this particular distraction. If this is you, then there's help there for you. Maybe you need to get some further support, just kind of refocusing. And maybe you have to just put your phone aside, your electronics, put them aside and start really focusing on what you have to get accomplished. Another thing, and you might find this a lot, not only with the younger kids, but I find this to be an issue with the younger kids. They are hooked on gaming. And parents have a warm time sometimes just kind of minimizing the time, but parents have to enforce this a lot. We want to ensure that our kids are not hooked on gaming or things that will distract them from their goals and their focus as well. And for adults as well who are hooked on this, then this is something that can be quite distracting. If you're looking towards that journey towards success, you have to pay key attention to some of these distractions. Another important thing as well that we want to make sure that we're doing, we want to make sure that we're minimizing sometimes socialization. Even though it's fun, Sacha, we find that sometimes people can overdo it. And if you find that there isn't a balance, you are spending so much time having fun, enjoying your time with friends, and when it comes down to your goals and focusing on what you need to get done, you find that you're so tired, you're not able to do anything. This is definitely a distraction for you. But I'm just going to ask Sacha to just kind of give insight. What would you say to someone out there who is struggling with any one of these distractions? What would you say perhaps that they need to, do? What would you say to them?
I would say I also have struggled with time management and social media addiction sometimes to an extent. I've it's really easy to get distracted by social media and to keep scrolling and scrolling just because there's so much more and so much new coming in all the time. I think that there's a lot of resources in the apps themselves to limit your time that you spend on there.
Yes.
I know that a lot of social media is just not good for your mental health. It's not good for usually stuff like body image.
Absolutely.
And just different, they set different like unrealistic expectations on social media.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's hard to give it up when you've had it like for so long.
Yes.
And you're constantly like scrolling and scrolling.
Yes.
But I think setting like those timers in the apps and like limiting, like physically limiting yourself.
Yes.
And also try and like, I know for me, social media has become a distraction from time to time, just because when like I'll come home and I'm like a little too tired to like start working right away, so I'm like, let me just scroll on social media for a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit turns into
comes a bit too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I think being able to have that timer, and then when that timer like goes off, then you actually have to like come off of it.
Yes.
And replace that that sense of needing to do something.
Yes.
And needing to distract yourself with the thing that you actually need to do.
Yes.
And being really consistent and
Yes.
kind of like tough on yourself a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, give yourself grace, because like it does take a while to like kick an addiction.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that with practice and time, because I mean, because we've done it so much and like constantly scrolling on social media, it's become a habit.
Yeah.
So to make a new habit, you have to make a change. And then make a new habit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a great point, Sacha, and I think anyone out there who has heard that, you know, it's worthy of trying your best. And I love what you said, you give yourself grace. This is something that you perhaps have been doing for a long time, so it feels like a part of you, but you recognize that this is not working for you. So you have to be very intentional in working towards, you know, saving yourself, because you have to do that in order to accomplish your life's goals and purpose. So that's a beautiful point, and really thankful for that. So another thing that we want to ensure that we're doing, Sacha, we want to make sure on this journey towards success, we have to do what we love. You know, people are just kind of like doing what everyone else wants them to do, or maybe it's something that's, you know, their friends are doing, so they're like, oh, I need to do this too, or whatever. You know, I can distinctly remember when I started off my journey, I felt like, I had this thought of being a nurse, and I shared that thought with a few persons around me, and I could remember someone who just, they consistently said, oh, when they saw me, they started to call me a nurse, and I felt like that it was so pressuring, and I felt like I needed to do that, but I wasn't sure I wanted to be a nurse, and then after a while, I just had to drop the idea of like me being a nurse, because it really wasn't me. It's so important to do what you love and not what anyone else wants you to do. Do you have any insight on this, Sacha?
I've also had a similar experience. I'm in college right now.
Yes.
But when I first started out, I was undecided for a whole year. I didn't declare a major because I wasn't sure what I wanted to go into. Because for so long, I was saying I wanted to be an architect.
Yes.
Well, I didn't realize what it took to be an architect. And I think I told so many people that I wanted to be an architect because I had an idea of what I thought it was.
Yes.
And I thought it was more in line with like my creativity and like what I wanted to do. It wasn't exactly an artist because my parents didn't really want me to go into art.
Yes.
So it was kind of hard to figure out what I wanted to do.
Yes.
I know my dad, when I told him that I didn't want to be an architect, he was like, but you've been saying that for so long, like it's the closest thing to art, but also he doesn't really know what it is either. So I think you really have to think about, you have to think of it in a way that your journey is your journey.
Yes.
Like you live your life for yourself.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, one person's comment, oh, you should do this.
Yes.
It doesn't affect them at all.
Yes.
It only affects you because it's your life.
Exactly.
And if you're living your life by someone else's dream, that doesn't make sense because they're not experiencing the dream you are. So
exactly.
I think, now I found a major that I like a lot. I think it still isn't exactly like an art major,
yes,
but I am a painting minor, and I'm still taking steps towards that dream. I'm not gonna give up on that because I mean it's something that I love.
Exactly.
And also I think it's just important to explore what you want to do. And
absolutely.
Again, give yourself grace because like we're so young right now.
Yes.
And like it's just hard to say, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life when you haven't even it started.
Oh, yeah.
And that can even change, even if you love it and you're doing it. It can change down the line, and you can change your path. Like nothing is set in stone as long as you're happy with it and you're taking steps to make yourself happy and investing in yourself in that way.
Absolutely.
That's really important.
Absolutely. Great points, Sacha. Definitely. Don't feel this is final, you know, like that. Don't feel that this is final. You can actually, you know, spend 30 years in the field or your profession, and then you decide, hey, there's something else I need to do, you know. So I think there's a pressure behind it. Sometimes it's the onlookers, sometimes you know, sometimes the uncertainty and the pressure, and people feel like I have to do this now because I'm gonna die next year. But that's, you know, we have to keep living, and those pressures, we have to minimize the voices that we hear that pressure us into thinking that we have to make a final decision on something. And so, you know, let's stay in tune. It's a journey actually towards success, you know. And so, you know, I love that, those points that you shared just now, Sacha. So, and another important thing that we want to ensure that we are paying some special attention to on this journey towards success, we have to make sure that we're planning and preparing. Plan, prepare, and do the hard work. Do the work. Put in the work. So if you decide that, hey, I'm going to be doing this for a while, yes, plan, you know, outline something. Maybe in the next few months, you want to get this particular part of your goal accomplished. You write that down, and you actually work towards it. Maybe there are some calls that you need to make. Maybe you need to register for some programs. And for persons who are already there in their field, maybe you need to do some refresher courses. You're sitting in this field for a while, you feel very bored, it feels like the same old. So maybe you could just kind of do something refreshing. If you're retired too, hey, guess what? You can go to the, you know, there are shelters out there looking and searching for persons who want to give back to their communities. So there's work, and there are opportunities there for everyone on this journey. So, you know, find yourself and find exactly what you really need to do and what you find to be rewarding and fulfilling. So, Sacha, do you have any idea or anything that you might want to say to persons who, the importance of planning, preparing, and putting in the work?
Well, I know for me this year, my idea of like planning and goal setting has changed a lot. And it's been hard because it's kind of, well, again, when you start something new, you can't just expect yourself to just be on it like that. It takes time. So it's been taking me some time, and I'm still working with it. I'm still learning how to properly time manage, properly set goals. But I think a lot of it is just intention and starting out with the intention and being consistent and believing in your intention. I think that I personally have made like it's this thing called the 12-year plan. And well, a 12-week year. And it basically, you break down your year into 4 quadrants. And so like 3 months at a time, you plan out, and you have 3 big goals, and you plan out what you do each month to properly like make progress to get towards that goal. And I think it's really important with all plans to pace yourself. Because a lot of the time when we don't get our goals accomplished, it's just because we get overwhelmed with just wanting, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do it all by the end of the year. I want to do it by this time. And I think we have such a finalized, oh, I have to do this now. Like cold turkey, I have to just change my life completely. And then we get overwhelmed, and then because it's so overwhelming, we just give up. Because it's too hard. It's too hard. And so I think that making sure we make little steps at a time, and pacing ourselves, and again, give yourself grace. Absolutely. I feel that coming out so much. Give yourself grace. You know, we're adding so much unnecessary pressure to ourselves. I like what you said. You have to pace yourself, because it can feel overwhelming, and if you put that added pressure and expectation on yourself, then your goal never gets accomplished. And this is important on this journey towards success. So baby steps are very, very important and key, and just going at a pace that fits you, no one else. No jumping, no skipping. You could just be lightly strolling, but it's a pace that actually suits you. So I really love that point.
point. And finally, fourth point is you have to keep positive and stay motivated. You know, keep motivated. Sometimes, you know, in your field, whether you're on this journey, you're there, or in the middle of the journey, or still trying to search, you have to, you know, one of the ways that you could actually stay motivated, you could actually stay connected or network. You know, make sure that you're in tune with persons who are, you know, in the field, in the profession. They can actually just build that excitation. Just make sure that you're feeling so excited when you see somebody who's actually successful in this particular field. So it's good to just network and stay connected. Also, that motivation that we have to have, you know, sometimes you have to literally speak to yourself, remind yourself of why you entered this, you know, write things out, you know, go to your journal, put your thoughts in there, you know, watch things that will motivate you. Remind yourself of, like, maybe someone who said something to you that made you feel as if this is what I really truly wanted to do. And sometimes it's easy to just, you know, not feel that excitement anymore. So, you know, we have to do things to make sure we're up and running. And again, we have to give ourselves the grace that we need when it happens. So, Sacha, do you have any insights on this one? Like, what can we do to stay motivated? What can we do to stay energized on our journey?
I know that, again, setting your intentions, and I think for me, especially this year, before the year started, I made a vision board.
Yes.
And I made a list of goals, and then I chose pictures specifically that went with each of the goals.
Nice.
So that I can look back at my vision board and constantly remind myself I'm working towards that goal. And I think it's really important to see yourself in that position. And I think it helps to, like, just go on Pinterest and find, like, those pictures that like, maybe someone looks like you and they're doing the thing that you want to do, and find that picture and remind yourself, that's going to be me. This is going to be me. And I think another thing, I started out, I did a vision board with my friend, and so we both had our own vision boards. We went to this workshop before the year started, and this girl who's, like, she just graduated from Howard. She's a really amazing artist, and she is really accomplished. And she just now graduated. Like, she gave us a lot of insight into how she plans. And she said a lot of it is just setting your intention and believing that it's you. And I think also having that accountability partner, sharing with your friend who's also working towards something. I think that it doesn't have to be the same goal, but as long as you guys, like, check in with each other and keep yourselves accountable and keep yourselves motivated.
I love that. Wow.
So me and my friend, we would, because both of our goals was to exercise more and to get stronger and to walk more. So on every Monday, since we were living in the same building, and I think we're gonna keep doing it, even though we live different places, we're gonna meet once a week throughout the school year, which is what we had been doing before summer. But we meet on Mondays, and we would call it Mindfulness Monday. And we would walk on the treadmill, and we would just talk about our goals, what we're doing to work towards them, what we plan on doing that week, what we think we should change, what we think we weren't successful at. And we just reminded each other to give each other grace.
Nice. I love that. What a great way to end. Having that accountability partner to support you on your journey towards success. That's so meaningful, and having somebody you could actually check in with every now and then. And, you know, as Sacha mentioned, it might not necessarily be you have the same goals, but you have somebody who could say to you, hey, you know, we're supporting each other, cheering you on, telling you could do this, you know, and helping you to know that, hey, you could find grace in moments where you're not feeling that great or feeling as if you can actually accomplish. But then that person can help you to just replenish and to just fill that cup back up again. So I feel like that is such a great way to end, and just a great reminder of persons, hey, on that journey for success, you all can do it. So I hope that you guys did actually get something from today, and Sacha, it was just wonderful to have you here, and please, you're gonna come back on this platform and share. So guys, just go ahead and share this information, and I hope that you are helped and you feel motivated to keep on that journey to success. And before we actually end, maybe I just need to highlight some of the key points. You want to make sure on this journey to success, you want to eliminate all those distractions, right? You want to make sure that you're doing what you want to do, what you truly love doing as well. You want to make sure that you're preparing, you're planning, and you're putting in the work that's necessary. You also want to stay motivated, stay positive, and give yourself grace on this journey, and never give up, okay? All right, so that's a wrap. We're gonna see you again next time. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.